Good afternoon, Senator, Representative Fernandez. My name is Alexandre. I am legal counsel for Massachusetts Family Institute. And I rise in opposition to House Bill 1577. There is a false narrative that's been advocated by proponents of this bill that says that gender identity and transgender is co-equal. And the proponents that suffer from gender identity, dysphoria in this Commonwealth, have suffered the same plight that Black Americans suffered during slavery and the Jim Crow era. I reject this claim as false politics and intellectually dishonest. The disgraces and unspeakable hardships in our nation's history pertaining to the Civil Rights Act, the civil rights of Black Americans are unmatched. No other group of individuals, including those who desire to express themselves as a different sex than how they were born, have ever been enslaved. They've never been viewed as property. This bill, no man who expresses himself as a female has ever had to drink out of a transgender water fountain. No woman that she believes that she is actually a man has ever been forced to sit in the back of a bus in the transgender section. So this bill is not about lunch counters. This bill is not about folks being forced to sit in the back of the bus. The purpose of this bill and the specific language in it targets bathrooms, targets locker rooms. And while it's true that there was a time in our country where bathrooms were labeled white only and some other labeled colored only, we as a society have rejected that segregation because we recognize that there was no rational basis for limiting bathroom access based on the color of someone's skin. However, there is a rational basis for requiring biological men to use the men's room and biological women to use the women's room. That's the whole purpose of having separate bathrooms for the two sexes. You know, I woke up this morning, as I have every morning, as I have always been and will always be Black. That's not because of a choice. It's not as a result of soul searching. You know, my father didn't live for 40 years as a white man and then discovered that he was actually Black. You know, my mother doesn't identify as Black or express herself as Black. She is Black. We're grateful to live in a society that does not assign moral or functional relevance to the color of our skin. There is a relevant fact that my father is a man and that my mother is a woman. Without these two relevant biological facts, I wouldn't be here. I couldn't exist. So piggybacking this issue on the backs of Black Americans by saying that the gender identity movement is co-equal to the civil rights movement is fundamentally flawed. It's intellectually dishonest. And it dishonors the legacy of the men and women who fought to be known by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. You said folks couldn't applaud, but I'm sorry, I can't stand idly by and not speak out against this. And I understand that there are legislators here that may be uneasy about being called discriminatory. I will say you were not being discriminatory when you opposed House Bill 1577. Rather, you were protecting the rights of your own mothers, your own sisters, your own daughters. They deserve a right to privacy. They should be able to use the bathroom or the locker room in this public building and any public building without the fear of a fully biological man entering, however he is dressed, coming in and intruding on their privacy. You are not wrong in respecting how the law stands today, and therefore I ask that you give House Bill 1577 an unfavorable report.
Thank you. Any questions?